Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Freeman Mazda Hyundai. Streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still, boy, when you see the football stuff going on, you get so excited. And coming up today, obviously, we're going to cover as much as we can about day one in Dallas Cowboys training camp. It's only one day, but I'm not going to let that deter my excitement for football being back. Cowboys get it popping over at Oxnard, which I'm a little bit jealous, man. I can't wait to get down there just to have that feel and to see things live and report back to y'all what I saw as opposed to what I saw via video or what I saw or read or what have you. But that's what we got. That's all we can do at this moment. And I'll make sure I try to do that in the most quality way as possible. Okay? Shout out to the Bomb Squad in the building, though.
Bomb Squad!
I see y'all up in here. Hey, like I just said, opening up this thing, I'm serious. I was watching that yesterday, and I just got excited because I want to be there, and I will be there next week. And I'm still developing the plan for camp next week. But I think, hey, Marv, you over there on the West Coast, I think I'm going to be getting up at the same damn time to give y'all the show. So we'll see. If not 6:30 over there, then maybe 7:30 over there. But we'll figure that out. I want to still do a live aspect in the morning to give you a quick update. Don't know if we'll do phones. We'll see. But we'll figure that out, and I'll let y'all know. I will say this. We have been confirmed, Cowboys Nation, confirmed to have credentials for a practice down there. So one day I will be able to be, closer than usual and more inside than usual. And I think I'm rolling with the mock draft game day. So I gotta holler at Vasher and see what we're gonna be doing here. But I think I'm gonna do it on the mock draft game day. So that will be pretty damn cool to have the credentials at that point and be able to talk to some of these players or coaches or whatever, and just get content in a different way than we normally have gotten it from a YouTube community standpoint. So even if it's just one day, hey man, it's an opportunity to kind of get our foot in the door, and hopefully we can, hey, we like that young man over there. Let's let him come back during the season and whatnot. But we're still working on that aspect. Baby steps, Cowboys Nation. Baby steps. It ain't gonna be easy, man. It ain't gonna be easy. But hey, we gonna get it, man. We gonna get it popping. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing in the building? We got Sean, TC915. You're not that guy, pal. Eric G, PZ, Gotti, Baby, Joey, Fee, Alpha Mason, Todd Cook, my guy, Mel Hayes in the building, Lamitra, Craig in the building, Professor Rowe was goody, Matisse, I see ya, Toxic Tom, Downey, burner account. Oh, you just hold tight. Let me see something real quick. We all were excited about it. Yeah, you just hold tight real quick, Tom. I got something for you later. King Element, what up? My guy, Eagles are trash. Was good. Who else we got? But Esther B, Marcus, Todd Cook, Brandon C, David J, James Rogley, Mr. Woods, Adrian Padilla. He says, get those likes up early, y'all, on them early. I appreciate it. King Element said, Mr. Funk Grandmaster Sky in the building. Todd, yeah, Law is down there at this moment. I'm not sure if he'll be there when we get there, but if so, we will all be linking up for sure. What's good, sir? 215, Tom Knutson, and the many more coming through. C. Burleson, I see you. I try to get y'all in here. Danny Savage, Brandon C, Uncut Coke. I appreciate y'all jumping in early. Y'all know how I feel about y'all, man. Y'all family over here. Wouldn't be the success without y'all. Y'all want to call in to talk about today's notes? And we're going to dive into a lot. This may be a longer show. Again, that's up to y'all. 351-999-3787. I'm going to tell you now, and I'm going to tell you at the end. I won't be here tomorrow. So I'm off tomorrow. So today we may go a little bit longer and dive into as many notes as possible. I like to try to gather around the Twitter streets, right? And then some articles and see whose notes, because a lot of people kind of say the same things, but some insiders, some reporters, those that are down there, they just word it a bit differently. So we'll do a few tweets on the Twitter street, and we'll get to my guy Bobby Belch, who was very detailed in some of his notes and talked about some things that most other people didn't. So we'll visit that. Also, jam-packed show, yo. Jam-packed show. I want to talk about what Mike McCarthy said in his presser that might have went unnoticed, and I think it's very important. And I'm getting more confidence in Mike having some power on this offense. So y'all stay tuned to that. We're bringing back the first word. I think with camp now rolling, we'll get the first word back. And for those who are new, you'll see what the first word is. So just stay tuned. Look, we got Joey on the phone already. Hold tight, Joe. Hold tight, man. Or is that Jose? We got Jose on the phone. Hold tight, Jose. Let's do this roundup right quick because we got some signings we got to get to and updates. We'll come out and we'll just have a bomb show for you, all right? Let's do it.
It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time. It's time.
It is time for
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Oh, let's do it. Hey, medical updates. I was waiting for this because I wanted to know what they would do with, Gallup, what they do with Clark and things like that. And they pretty much went the route that we all expected, right? Michael Gallup hits the PUP list, one of the ones we weren't really surprised about. There's a bit of confusion in regards to the PUP list and NFI list and things like that. Very similar, but little different nuances. The reason why Damone Clark, who is the only one on NFI list, is on NFI, not PUP, is because the injury, quote unquote, was sustained outside of the team activities and or coming in from college. So that's why he's on the NFI list as opposed to PUP. In regards to Drummond, Hansford, and Mosley, all undrafted rookies, their hiccups happen, I guess, during rookie camp or during OTAs or what have you. So they start off on PUP. Not great for Drummond. I say this all the time about young guys, especially trying to fight for a roster spot. It happens. It's football, but you need to be out there, right? You need to be out there. Good thing about Gallup, though. Good thing about Gallup. Coach McCarthy said that he's hitting the fourth quarter of his rehab and that he hasn't missed a target yet. So, again, we could be looking at the sooner rather than later aspect of Michael Gallup. And what I mean by that is, as opposed to maybe 4 to 6 weeks, maybe we do get the 2 to 3 games that Stephen Jones had talked about. I still don't have a feel on this just quite yet. I assume he's going to miss some games, right? I've seen wide variety amongst fans. Some say he won't be back till after Thanksgiving, saying he's going to miss 8 games. I've seen some say he'll be back week 1. I think we're somewhere in the middle. I think he's going to miss a few games. I would love for him not to miss the first month because likely you're not going to get him for Tampa and you're not going to get him for the Bengals, but I would love to have him for the Rams and for the Eagles. I don't want to go too far into the beginning of this season without essentially our number 2 wide receiver because you're going to need all these boys, right? You're going to need all these boys. But not good news for Drummond. I'd imagine they'll ask questions about Drummond and see what's up with him. Hansford was a long shot to me, and Mosley 100%. I just didn't think would make this. It's Quandre Mosley, by the way. So good news, bad news on the injury medical checkups here. Linebacker Clark is just going to be a kind of wait and see. Wait and see. The big news, though, coming out of last night, I'm going to say last night, was that the Cowboys signed, y'all remember, they brought him in, the USFL MVP, Kevontae Turpin. The details on this are murky. The reports are saying 3-year deal. Dallas hasn't come out quite yet with the details, but interesting that it's a 3-year deal. I would love to know what those details are with that, because that almost never happens. Dallas hardly ever signs guys in general to 3-year deals. But if you guys forget who Turpin was, he's a little fella, about 5'9", 155 pounds, but he's probably already, when you bring him on this team, your best return man. At TCU, he had 4 punt returns and 2 kickoff return touchdowns. And he's probably your best return man. Won the USFL MVP this past season, had 44 catches for a league-leading 540 yards, 4 tutties in 10 games. Also rushed for 129 yards and a touchdown, and also had 184 punt return yards. We went into training camp. One of our question marks, right, was, hey, man, who's going to be returning these things? They're not putting Tony Pollard back there. They're not. I hope they're not going to put CeeDee Lamb back there. They were talking about putting Jalen Tolbert back there, who wasn't a punt return guy, and you're going to need him at receiver. So they went out and said, let's just dead it. Let's go get us a punt return guy. Reminds me of what's the little fella from, he's playing in Canada right now, Lucky Whitehead. Reminds me of a Lucky Whitehead move in 2016. I love role players. I like guys that have a role. If Turpin is here just to be a punt returner and occasionally you throw him in a game to, in a way that I forget the cat's name in New Orleans. He doesn't come in the game a whole lot, little guy, but when he touches the rock, he can be an explosive player. Very early, right? We just signed a guy. He may not even make the team. But I think his best shot is to be your dynamic return man. And I think he can be a dynamic return man because that's what he is. He's a dynamic return man. That way it allows you to keep allows you to keep Lamb, allows you to keep Pollard and Tolbert doing the offensive things that you need him to do. So one thing, though, to keep in note, Cowboys Nation, is who will the Cowboys cut for Turpin? Somebody has to go. So I don't know where that's going to come from. Running back room again. They already got rid of Hardy to bring in the linebackers. The linebacker room, does somebody go on IR from that PUP list? Does really trying to put my cornerback room? Not sure. So keep your eyes out on that later on today, because if he's signed, they have to make that move today. I'd imagine they want to get him in practice right away. One last note on Turpin. He did have some off-field issues. He had multiple domestic violence cases hanging over his head that technically he's still going through. One just got resolved. Both of them technically were plead. He's dealing with some probation aspects to him right now on the second charge, but hopefully those things are behind him and he's able to kind of, like I said about Kelvin Joseph, learn, grow, and mature. Young guy. I'm not saying that's something that is you can make an excuse for. Cannot excuse that. I just hope as he's getting older, he's maturing, and the negative things in his life are behind him. So that may be a reason why he wasn't signed out here in these NFL streets. So there we have it on Turpin. Lemaitre said Noah Brown. Nah, I don't think that's going to help. I don't think that's going to happen, y'all. I don't think that's going to happen. Antoine said, no judgment, but one shot and you out. Yeah, I don't think the leash will be long on him either. So we'll keep an eye on that. Wide receiver, yeah, Professor O, Houston or Robinson, one of the wide receivers could be going as well. How small is Turpin? Or how is 5'9" small? Y'all ain't going to call me short this morning. Hey, Bruce, you go stand next to the NFL players and you tell me how big you are, sir. At 5'9". 5'9", 155 pounds, is one of the smallest players in the National Football League, if I'm not mistaken. 150. All he can do is play returner. I think. I don't really see how he can get out there. You're not putting him out there in running situation. Not a single run situation. That little man should be out there. Yeah. Hell, how big was Lucky? Lucky was a little dude, but Lucky was rocked up. So we'll see. We'll see what Turpin can do out there, man. Y'all hit the phone lines early. Okay, let's hit the phone lines early, and then we'll get to some Twitter streets. What's up, Jose?
Jose, what's up, Will?
What's up, man? How you?
Pretty good. Ready for work right now. How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. Just excited about these camp notes and whatnot.
I was gonna say, hey, 5'9", that guy's gonna be running through some guys' jock straps during the line.
Say that again.
I was like, at 5'9", that guy's gonna be running through somebody's jock straps. They're going through that line.
He's a little dude, yeah, he's a little guy.
That's short, brother. See, I'm 5'11", and I thought I was short.
See, the 5'9" part wouldn't bug me if he was 5'9", 200. We've seen running backs that are short.
True,
we've seen
true.
What is Steve Smith? Steve Smith about 5'10", Anthony Brown, I think, is 5'10" or something like that. Jordan Lewis.
What was Sproles?
Sproles was little.
Pretty small?
Sproles was little, but Sproles had tree trunks for legs.
For real?
Yeah. 5'9".
Like
the 155 to me is like, oh wow, man. You got to have some heart, to go out there and get hit by 6'3", 225-pound guys running 4.4 at you.
You're gonna have to come out like Rudy from Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, I saw that list you had at the time. I saw the first one was what was it? Ryan Nall, the second one Isaac Alicorn.
I'm having a hard time making out what you say. That again.
I was like, I saw that list you had for Tom. Who is it? The first Ryan Nall, and then Isaac Alicorn, the second one.
Oh no, the list for Tom. That was a clip. I'm going to play a clip later on in the show. But the list was actually a running back list. It was
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm confused. I don't know where you're going with it, man. What else you got for the show, Jose?
Nah, you already know I'm making sure. I'm getting ready for work right now. I got to go to the pen store. I just wanted to call and say what's up to the Bomb Squad. What's up to Will? You already know how it is. I love the content. I love hearing y'all. I just wanted to say good morning and hope y'all have a good day.
You too, bro. Appreciate you calling in, man. Let's
yes, sir, Will. Have a good one, brother.
You too, man. Let's get the 920 on the horn. What's up, 920?
What's up? This is Carl, y'all.
Carl? What's up, Carl?
What's up? Hey, Turpin, baby. I told you.
Yeah, wasn't you the one, Carl? We was talking, we was having a
yes.
conversation, and as you were talking, I said, let me go look at this young man's highlights. And I was like, oh.
Right, yep.
He got a little, he got a little explosiveness to him, man. So I appreciate you, Carl.
We talk about his size.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact of you getting to him. You have to get to him. That guy, his speed is so good, you have to get to him. And I think he's going to be a good 3 years, and I'm thinking he's going to make this team. You're going to sign this guy for 3 years. I'm thinking he's your punt returner, kickoff returner, special team. And he can play a little slot. The fact is, he's that fast. You have to get to him. Everybody say 5'9", 155 pounds. But the guy has some speed, man. And I think he's gonna do good. I think he's gonna do real good. I was just kept waiting for them to make up their mind and signing him, but they really did it.
I think Carl.
And I'm surprised.
Doesn't he walk in and he's already your best return man?
Yes, yes, he is. I can't see them doing that to Lamb.
No,
and other guys. I can't see.
You don't play with that
Lamb,
with CD Lamb, not anymore.
Right.
Anyway.
Right, and you got Dallas. That's all Dallas needed was one of these speedy. And you can use them not just for special teams, but you could put them in some plays to do reverses and do all those other type of gadget plays. You can do that.
You can.
Like this signing, man.
You can throw him in there and do some trickery with him for sure. Right. I hope it's not at a high rate. Mix it up every here and there, but I think you got enough weapons that you can feature that you don't need to go 5-10 plays to him. I love it from a return man standpoint, not necessarily an offensive standpoint. I'd still rather speedster in the sense of a standard 6-foot guy type of. No offense to Lil Turbin, we did have Tavon Austin, who was a little guy, but he was a different breed.
Right.
But I would like a true speedster. I don't think it's going to happen though. So I'll settle on Turpin, and I think he can be a dynamic returner. I mean, returners. That's the thing about returners. If that's what you do at an elite level, you can project that out. I can project him being a really good return man, given the opportunity. Because that's what he does. That's what he is a football player for, is to be that type of guy at the next level. Yeah,
so when the last time we had, besides, what's the last one was
Lucky
Austin.
You're true.
Lucky,
true. You know
Lucky,
what? You're right. Tavon Austin was the last one. Yeah.
And was this guy Turpin? He was high in the draft, but he had some problems at TCU.
Yeah, he got kicked out of TCU. I don't know if he was ever high in the draft. I don't. That's 2018, so I can't really go back that far.
Yeah,
I don't recall him at least.
But he was MVP, man, for the US. He was the MVP. So yeah. Well, I'm glad of this signing, man. I see promise, man. If this guy can just get us great field position, and we needed that. We needed a guy that can straight out, punt return, kickoff return, and do a little trickery plays, like you say. We on our way. Hey, I see you up there. I get in touch with you. We leaving Wednesday, and
I'll be leaving Thursday.
I'll get in touch with you, and trust me, I'll find you.
Hit me up, man. Hit me up. Appreciate you, Carl.
All right, take it easy, bro.
You too. Let's get one more. Let's get B Bird, and then we'll hit some of these notes. Oh, I done brought in Marv. Hold on, Marv. Hold on, Marv. I'll get to you in a second, Marv. B Bird, what's good, brother?
Hey, good morning, Scott. How you doing this morning, bro?
I'm good. Probably more excited than I've been in the off season because we got actual football going on now.
Yeah. Wanted to call and just talk about this Turpin pick. I actually like this one, man. This is something that you the hidden yards, and nobody really talks about special teams or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you have a guy like that, man, with the quickness and the speed, he ran a 4.31, I think, at the combine. And he's proven himself in the USFL. He was MVP. But I think it's some outside of the box thinking by the front office. I got to give him a little bit of credit on that. And one thing too is that I think I was looking for Will Fuller. I like the suddenness of a player. Like if he gets a step on you, it's over. I just like to pick. I like to pick up overall. It's just a good pickup for us. It's kind of nobody in the league is going to be like, wow, they got him. But I think it paid dividends in the end. Put it that way. And I hopefully he gets a couple of reps at the slot too. So hopefully, because there's a guy that can just get the ball and go do something with it afterwards. We don't have that on our team right now. We got some guys that can make some plays. But I'm talking about just a throw out to the right.
Something quick.
He gets to get a step on it, and it's over with. You know what I'm saying? It could be from 80, 40, 60, or whatever. So hopefully he can come in and make that. I think it's underrated, but I think it's a really good pickup for us, man. I'm gonna let you go, brother. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, B Bird. Appreciate you.
All right.
From an offensive standpoint, I gotta see if Kellen Moore can put in a package or a design to get him the ball in that way. We just haven't. The only guy that Kellen Moore's had like that he could have did that with was Tavon Austin, and that never happened. Now Tavon had some injuries and whatnot, but it just didn't happen though. So, and I think that was, did he have Tavon for 2019? Yes, he had Tavon. Yes, he had 2019. He had Tavon. Tavon came back because I remember 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Man, I'm having a hard time. I know in 2019 we definitely had Tavon Austin, but I don't recall him using him in packages as much. He did have that big pass against the Rams, the botch punt return that he had to call a fair catch on. He was pissed at. So that was 2019. So we haven't really seen Kellen Moore, veteran Kellen Moore, play caller with this guy. So let's see if he can develop any packages as opposed to just throwing him in there and asking him to do the regular slot things. Yeah, Tavon was so we did have him in 18. That's right, we did have him in 18. So Tavon was hurt because I remember I thought he had a good punt return in the playoffs against the Seahawks. So I was like, wait a minute, I thought we had it for a couple years. So thank you. All right, let's get to the first word real quick, which is, again, I might start bringing these back because I do enjoy some of the interviews because you can grab some things, and I'm going to tie all this together in a second. But I'm going to get to Mike McCarthy and Ezekiel Elliott. Mike came out, spoke about why Ezekiel Elliott is a cornerstone player for this team. And then he gave an update on how his rehab was going during the off season and, how he feels about it now. And they ask him some other questions too, real quick. But take a listen to the first word, the very first word, really, of the 2022 season.
Back at last year in Zeke's season, do you break it down pre-injury, post-injury in any way? When you look back at it, would he have been better served to rest it all as opposed to keep playing?
Yeah, I don't think you question those things. There's so much that goes into those decisions on a weekly basis, based on the player, the training staff, and so forth. I've never carried emotion into medical decisions. I think that's where you get in trouble. So, in players, play hurt in this league, and he did for a big part of it. I look at it from the other end. I think it's really a reflection of who he is as a competitor, as a football player. Zeke Elliott's one of our rocks on this team. I mean, he's a keystone player, and so the communication and his ability to do all the extra little stuff, and those are the things that I get to look at and be a part of. But you see all the extra work that he puts in pre-practice, post-practice, in there on Tuesdays. I mean, he's in the quarterback meetings in the morning. So, but the physical part of it, he overcame a lot to play, and I think that speaks volumes about him. And you need those type of individuals to win championships.
I say a lot more this offseason was just kind of, focusing on that knee, focusing on the muscles around it, making sure, getting them back to, full strength and getting them back going.
When did you feel right with that knee?
I'd say, I was a little worried at the beginning of the offseason. I'm like, dang, this thing still kind of feels a little iffy. But I'll say probably, a month or two into the offseason, a month or two getting back into work, and I'll say, probably by the time OTAs hit, I was back 100.
You ever consider surgery?
No.
I'm gonna say this about the Zeke thing. He's healthy now, and that was always been our thing about Zeke is to be healthy. But a tad bit concerning when he said, yeah, I was a little worried about this knee, man. It just wasn't going away until a few months ago. And it finally started to do this and do that. Excuse me. Do this and do that. I feel like we've been saying this forever, but I feel like even more than ever before, the Cowboys need to lean on Tony Pollard and Zeke combination. They just do. For at the very least, to make sure that Zeke is healthy going into the playoffs. And since Mike McCarthy's been here, he's kind of always talked about that. Then I don't know what happened last year that made him keep at it in regards to Ezekiel Elliott from an injury standpoint by playing on the field. Now, they did ask Mike McCarthy about that in a way. One of the reporters said, hey, if you could go back, would you have pulled back on, said Dak personally, technically said Dak and Zeke. Would you have pulled back and sat them and let them rest and things like that? And McCarthy actually took that question where they asked him about pass run ratio or is it better? Are you going to be better just because you have more efficient and healthy running backs? He took that and he said something to me that rang loud. That has a lot to do with not just them personally as players, but once again, Scheme. Listen to Mike McCarthy talk about the running back usage and how they're going to, well, hopefully how they're going to use these running backs. It's not the first word, but it's just Mike McCarthy talking about it.
Well, I think, overall run, like today we're putting in normal down and distance and second 1 to 7 in a 2-minute end of half. So those are our situational emphasis, and one of the things I do with the team is I have the anatomy of each situation. So the point I'm making is the run and pass in normal down and distance. When you look at our numbers compared to, the league numbers, we're not, we're pretty much in line with all that. And really the point I'm making with the team, there's patterns to everything. These patterns have always been there. It's just more really the recognition of those patterns and understanding where you're at as far as how the other guy's looking at you. So I think the next step really is to take it as, are we running it more too much under center versus in the gun and those types of things. So that's really where our focus is, just to make sure that, we're conceptually running the things that give our players the best chance to be successful each and every week, but to make sure that, the mannerisms, the picture of, what it looks like, in pre-snap, that we're doing our due diligence on, making sure we can maybe, gain an edge or, it just, don't give the defense the picture where, the whole world knows where the ball's going before the ball's snapped.
Let me say, did anybody pick that up? That's stuff that we had been talking about for years, number one, in this offense. But did anybody pick that up? We don't want to give away where we're going with the rock from a running standpoint, where the whole world knows where it's going. Kellen Moore, report to my office. This is the second time I've heard Mike McCarthy kind of say scheme things without really saying the word scheme. And last year, not saying he might have said things like this. I don't recall it too much. But last year, what did he say at the end of the season? Huh? Whoever installs it, calls it. He seems so much more hands-offy and more worried about, hey, the technology. We got to make sure that everybody has, the amount of reps, and we want to make sure these guys are feeling fresh and healthy. And no, this year he's talking about specifically. Again, it's just talking. All we got is talking. Specifically, schematic things that we saw were an issue last year that he's basically pointing out. How many times have we said, man, we knew where this play was going? How many times do we say, well, why are we running out of shotgun, especially with a hurt running back? He specifically brought up, hey, man, we got to make sure that we're putting these players in the best position, right, for success. We got to make sure that we're not just running out of shotgun or under center. We got to make sure that balance is correct. I'm not quite ready just yet to say Mike went and got some surgery. Snip, snap, snip, snap. But old Mike, I feel like old Mike in that room, and he telling Kellen, listen, man, I know you're the smartest guy in the room and everything, but there's just certain things about this game that is not that difficult that we got to get back to. So I just thought that was real interesting that Mike McCarthy brought up, the schematics of things and the how we're going to be running or how we should be running. And if you want to go back and listen to that interview, you can go ahead. He actually went on to detail a little bit more about why it's important to get these linemen to fire out so they aren't playing on the heels of their feet a lot. So I thought the tail end of that the tail end of that press conference has some really good stuff there that can be encouraging from a running standpoint. Right? Not necessarily to total offense, but just talking about the running standpoint, because we're going to need this running back room to play a factor. Put a pin in this running back situation. I'm gonna bring this back. I'm gonna bring this back. Put a pin on it. I want to move on to some of the notes from day one, and we'll come on back. Just hold tight. Let's hit the Twitter streets and let's get into this practice. These practice notes. Kyle Yeoman's one of my guys I love to look at when he is, talking about the Dallas Cowboys via Twitter. He gives decent notes every time. Yesterday was very general, and let's kind of go through a little bit here. Sam Williams, even without pads, was impressive. One of the things that I noticed, and Mauricio brought this up on his show, was we saw some video footage of Sam inside. And remember, we talked about when he got drafted and the Dan Quinn mad scientist of Sam Williams, of his mind, he could use Sam Williams in a variety of ways. And while I never thought it'd be linebacker, I think you could see him move in a little bit on pass rushing plays. And he's going to experiment a little bit with that. Got a bot in here. He's going to experiment a little bit with that. Will it work? We don't know just quite yet, but it's not like Sam doesn't have experience banging with the big boys in the middle, right? He's wrestled with those guys in the SEC. So he can do it from a physical standpoint. The league is a bit different. They can scheme on you a little bit different, so it's something to monitor. But I think it's pretty cool that already Dan is like, yep, this guy has something, and we're going to move him around. Tyler Smith spent some time with the first team at left guard. All the notes you'll see from everybody, they'll talk about Tyler Smith and McGovern splitting reps. This, I think, is very standard. We've seen this throughout the history of the Cowboys. They usually make these rookies kind of, in a way, earn it. Let's just be real. He's going to be the starter, like Michael was going to be the starter, like Dez, and that whole situation. Unless they're just loaded at a certain position, hence when they had CD Lamb drop to him, right? They're not going to not play their first round pick. Another one was when they had, who was it? Sean Lee here. Drafted LVE. Sean Lee was still playing, at a high level when he played. Jalen Smith was here. So the room was a bit stacked there. So LVE didn't get a chance until he got a chance and he ran away with it. Tyler Smith will be your starting left guard. Speaking of which, Tyler Smith was looking svelte. Apparently, Twitter got a little bit concerned about that, but Tyler Smith is not little. He just is in shape. I think you should be encouraged that Tyler Smith got in shape. He moves around well. Again, the problem with not being there, all we can go off of is some of the footage we see, but he was looking good. I mean, I'm going to talk about one play. He picked up a stunt really well. I know that sounds silly. There's no pads. They can't put the helmets in on them. They can't quite dip the shoulders in and just bull rush these dudes. But from an IQ standpoint, one of the things that I think McGovern struggled with last year was stunts. And Tyler's smart, man. Tyler has a high football IQ. We listen to him. You see him out there working with Duke Manyweather. I thought he picked up, I think it was J-Ron Curse, and the defensive end did a stunt, and he just did it flawlessly. And I feel like if he had pads, he would have just manhandled J-Ron. I can't wait to see Tyler Smith get these pads on. You're going to see highlight type plays from him because he hasn't. Think about this for a second, and we'll get back to it. Tyler Smith probably got so much ready to just unleash. You go look at his college film. The dude is a nasty player. He can't quite do that right now. So by the time these pads come on, probably going to get a whole lot of those. Hey, big fella, we're going to need you to tape it down a little bit. We need Osa. We need J-Ron, big fella. All right? So you could tussle with Ridgeway and these guys because they big too, but relax. So good news on Tyler Smith in day one. I saw somebody say, what's up to Foot? Shout out to my brother Foot's the King in the building, who, if you guys watch the draft show, y'all know my reaction, right? But Foots quickly brought the, all right, it ain't who we wanted, but Tyler Smith, boom, 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 boom. And he brought me back down and got me to think clearly right after it was over. And I was like, hey, man, I'll say this about Tyler. He'll be your most talented left guard since Ron Leary. He'll be your nastiest left guard since Ron Leary. And I thought it was very interesting that Zeke and Zach Martin came out and said, yeah, he reminds me of Ron Leary. Just saying, if we can get a healthy, more talented Ron Leary, that left guard spot is straight. Potentially the left tackle spot. We'll see what happens with that. I want y'all to go look at the second to last part right there. Really like the early looks we saw from Rico Dowdle. Tom Downey burner account, please report to the principal's office. Tom Downey burner account, please report to the principal's office. Listen, I know it's day one. I just want to take this opportunity to tell Tom.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell
To the no, no. Ryan, hell no. Got a problem, Tom. And I tried to told you. Tom, I don't like to do that. I told you so. And I swear I will wear Ryan Nall's jersey if he makes this team. But boy, you better stop sleeping on the healthy Rico Dowdle. Just to remind some of y'all, Tom specifically. Just to remind you. We all were excited about Rico as an RB3 because he showed some of that special teams ability in 2020 in that crazy year. And we kind of liked his running style. His running style was tough as nails type of guy. But then something that's kind of been dogging him his whole career and since college, I mean, is injuries. Injuries crept up, right? He got that hip injury that sidelined him for the entire 2021 season. And then most recently, he's been sidelined due to I believe he got knee surgery. So he won't be available until training camp. And again, this isn't anything new with Rico. He dealt with injury issues in college too. So it's, this is unfortunate for him because you need to be out there. When you're a guy that's on the fringe of making the team, you got to be out there. Got to be out there. Fortunately, he will, though, come training camp, unless something goes bad. But he will be out there during training camp. If in my opinion, if he's healthy and doesn't get injured, I think he's the front runner to make this roster, or should be the front runner to make this roster at the RB3 position.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no.
Y'all, you better hope Rico Dowdle does not stay healthy. That's all I can tell you about this Ryan Nall situation. I just wanted to take that opportunity to let Tom know that Rico Dowdle was back. Okay? But on a serious note, he got to stay healthy. He got to stay healthy. Nothing's changed in that department. We need him to be healthy because, again, remember I said put a pin in it? Pull that pin back out now, y'all. I didn't like what I heard from Zeke in regards to his knee being a low issue during this offseason, right? I didn't like it. It's been 2 years running now that he's been banged up. Happens. You get older, all those carries, it happens. For a long time, and this is an overreaction, I don't care. But for a long time, I've been talking about duo. Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott. I think we might have to start talking committee. I know that sounds crazy. Got Ezekiel Elliott. You don't need a committee. You got Tony Pollard. I know that sounds crazy. But just think about it for a second here. You're probably going to try to lean on your run game a little bit more than you have over the last few years. At least I hope Kellen Moore does, given the injuries situation at wide receiver, given you got a different lineup in front of you, right? In regards to the offensive line, Terrence Steele's now full-time right tackle. Left guard is new. The easiest way to kind of get those boys going and rolling, like McCarthy said, was get them moving forward. This is not a knock on TP. This is not a knock on Ezekiel Elliott. But usually teams that lean in on the ground game, they lean in on it with multiple backs. More than two backs. It's usually about 3 backs that they use. And I'm not saying Rico is going to need to get 10 carries a game. That's not even what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. But there may be games where, hey, man, one of these guys just ain't feeling it. Let's throw somebody else in there and see what happens. Nothing wrong with throwing 3 guys in there if all 3 of them got something to bring to the table. Barring injury, Rico Dowdle is going to be on the field in regards to special teams. He was one of your top special teams guys from a snap department in 2020. So I'm not saying that we need to do this. Just something to think about. It's just something to think about in regards to using all these backs. Now, Professor O makes a good point. Ryan Nall is listed as a fullback, and if that's the case, his competition is technically, probably at least, Ralston. But I'll say this. Did Dallas carry a fullback last year? I don't recall it. In fact, the last time I remember Dallas carrying a fullback was when they gave Olawale. They gave Olawale that 3-year deal, who was more of an H-back, tight end, fullback, running back. He was all that stuff. So if he's only going to play fullback, I think it's even harder for Ryan Nall to make this team. Because now they're going to run with 3 running backs. Let's just be completely honest here. They're going to have 3 halfbacks. So then you have a 4th running back in regards to a fullback. That's a lot of backs in an offense that doesn't even run, 21 like that. So, just saying. Am I making sense on the committee though? Or y'all throwing tomatoes at me before I move forward here? I'm saying, am I making sense with this committee approach? I wouldn't mind it. I'm at the point, but see, I'm not tied to one of these guys. I'm not tied to TP. I'm not tied to Zeke. I'm not one of the, and that's, there's fans that are, hey, that's my guy. Give him the rock. I get it. I'm tied to who's productive when they touch it. I don't care how it happens. Who's productive from a running back standpoint when they touch it? If we get in the game and TP's got like 8-9 carries and he averages 2.3 yards per carry, all right, let's see what Zeke got. Let's see what Rico can do here. Can we mix it up? We get into a game and Zeke is at 12 touches and he's averaging 2.9, 3.1 yards per carry. Let's see what TP. Let's see what Rico has here. What's the point of continuing to do something that ain't working? That's all I'm saying. D Schiff says it's kind of a committee already. I disagree. D Schiff, how? How many carries did the third guy have? Go tell me how many carries that third guy had in Dallas. Remember, duo, 1-2 punch, Thunder Lightning, different than committee. Committee to me is 3 or more. 1-2 punch is literally 1-2. So I digress, man. All right, we've been keeping the other OG Marv on the horn for a minute, man. Hey, Marv, man, you got about a week. Get ready for me. Get the VIP section ready for me, Marv.
Look at you, ready to party, ain't you? You here next week?
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
good.
Friday I'll begin. I got to talk to Vasher. We're going to try to catch the Friday practice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the practice tomorrow. I'm gonna meet gonna meet Law Nation.
You know what? I'm not even going to be on tomorrow. You ain't going to catch me till Monday. So report back to me Monday, man. Let me know what you saw.
Yeah, I want to see. The main thing I like to watch is the receivers going against the corners. That's what I'm going to see. I want to see that tomorrow. Because you ain't going to get to see the deep tackles until they put that.
Right. So let me say that real quick because we're going to get to some more notes. From an offensive lineman standpoint and defensive line to an extent, but mostly offensive lineman, I try not to get too overly excited or down in general at this point because they don't have pads, right? Same thing in OTAs. The defensive linemen are running pretty much damn near full speed at you, and you can't really put hands on these boys or put a shoulder on these boys or put a helmet on these boys, and it can be a little advantageous to the defensive side of the ball, but so it's a weird situation, Marv. Like I want to get excited about some of the things I hear about the offensive linemen, but also have to understand there's context to it.
Yeah, you won't know until Monday or Tuesday. And you're gonna see the beat down. Who's the strongest? Who's the weak link?
Yeah,
that's when you're gonna see.
Hey, Marv, I think you got a new nickname, bro. They calling you Magic City Marv.
I love it. Magic City
Marv.
But I don't go to strip clubs.
Yeah, no. Don't set me up now, Marv. Do not set me up, brother.
No, that's wicked. I can't do the wicked. You know what I'm saying? Once you're in the truth, You can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel you, man.
So we don't do that. So I gotta keep it. Gotta keep it holy, fans. Ain't no MJ going no strip club. I could work and take my butt home after, but ain't no wickedness.
No wickedness, but I don't want to go to church to turn up. You ain't taking me to church on a Saturday night, are you? I thought you had a little lounge or something, Marvin.
No, we go. You know, I do my job. You know what I'm saying? But I take it home.
I mean, if I got to turn up in the name of the Lord, I mean,
you know, we the ones on the street.
Okay.
The Israelites. We don't do that stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get into that. May make some people here mad. You know what I'm saying? But I can't wait to see that the D tackles go against that offense. I want to see that.
Next week.
Wait to see that.
Next week the pads come on, which is why I'm glad we decided to go next week, and there'll be about 3 practices in by the time me and Vach get down there. So we'll report to y'all.
Yeah, and then we gotta like I keep hearing fans. All the fans, y'all gotta get out of fantasy football. I'm a realist. I like young players. I always love the young players, and I want to see what they could do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to.
Oh, trust me, Marv. We know you love the young players, Marv. Nobody calls in and gives us the 78th man on the roster more than you. So you definitely dialed in to the down roster guys, and nothing's wrong with that because you're going to need one of those guys.
I
to
like
shine.
Will.
Yeah.
I believe in Will. That's what say. That's what I tell you, fans. Will McClay. That's who be saving Stephen A. And you know it, and I know it. That's his man. He loves it. That's why he don't listen to y'all. Because he's like, Will, who we got? Who can we get?
He be saving Stephen A.
We want to try this. Yeah.
Oh.
Will, McClay, and Stephen. Not Stephen Smith, but Stephen.
I just making sure, saving Stephen A. Smith, and okay, yeah, cool.
I mean, the GM, Stephen. So that's why they believe in Will McClay, and I believe in Will McClay. So that's why I don't panic. That's why the Cowboys get so lucky. But we got like 15 receivers on the squad, so somebody gonna break through. That's why I'm not panicking.
You know who I didn't hear about yesterday? TJ Vasher, and it's day one, but I wanted to kind of see him.
Did he do good?
I don't know. I didn't hear. I don't even recall a single tweet about him. So, yeah.
Because I remember, like when me and you talked a week ago, well, when he was in camp, the guy that was going off was Dennis
Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't recall too much.
I want to see when he. I want to see when he put them pants on. That's why. That's when we're gonna tell when they get to play bump and run. See, can you get off? But I wasn't. That's what I told y'all. 18 is gonna turn it out. Tolbert gonna turn it out. I'm telling you
let's talk about it, man. I'm about to get to Tolbert here in a second and the rest of my notes from the day. But Tolbert was 100% the standout according to most people down there. And boy, I tell you, man, I don't think it's going to take Tolbert long to catch on in this league because he's coming in as an older player already. Ton of opportunities at South Alabama.
You saw big he is?
Well, he ain't big. He about $194. He's skinny, but that's fine. He'll put on weight as we go.
Size.
Huh?
Yeah. So that's good size though. 194. He's like what, 6'1", 6'2"?
Yeah, he's 6'1". He's a slender guy, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. He'll put on weight as he gets older. But tell you what, Michael Gallup better get back here, Michael Gallup. That's what I'm saying. All right, look, Marv. Let me get to the rest of these notes, fam. I don't want to be on here till 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. You be here all day.
Yeah.
Everybody's calling you.
Appreciate you, OG.
Coach, is Coach came on yet?
Not yet. But I want Coach to tune in because I got some good news from one of his guys who made one of the clips in not a clips, but one of the notes.
Some of the interception.
In Tristan Hill. Tristan Hill made a note.
What did he do?
Yeah, I mean it's only a rep, but he had a good rep or a couple good reps against. I think it was Terrence Steele. I think that's what Bobby said. Yeah. We'll get to it. I'll pull it up when I get there.
I knew they was gonna put him on in too. Yeah, they playing him to see if they're gonna cut him. Don't get that mistaken now. I want Tristan to make it too, but they put him on that first team to see what they got. They're gonna give him all the chance in the world to see can he make it. It's up to him now.
Yeah, he was in the rotation yesterday. He was in the rotation yesterday, Marv, from what I heard, man.
Yep.
Said he made a foot.
So we gonna see when they put them pads on.
Yep. All right, I'll call you coach. All right, Marvin, let me keep it moving, brother.
All right, family. Have a blessed day.
You too, man.
We all were excited about Rico as RB3 because
we were excited about Rico as an RB3. But hope Coach Marv is in the building because, like I said, there is a note, and y'all some fools in here, man. He made a footnote. Come on, man. Give Tristan a little bit of, I'm gonna give him a little bit of love here, right? He part of rotation from what I heard. Amongst Neville and Osa and Carlos and all the other guys, Tristan is still involved. I told y'all, listen, if Tristan don't have a good camp, he gone. But if you have a good camp, 100%, he got the talent to still be on this team. But let's before we get to Tristan, let's go back to the Twitter streets. Todd Archer got a little bit more nuanced in his tweets about what he saw out there. Lots of 3 safety looks with Wilson, J-Ron Curse, and Malik Hooker, a.k.a. Big Nickel. This is something that you shouldn't be surprised about, right? Cowboys ran this Big Nickel look probably more than anybody last year, and I don't see that changing, which is why I think that Wilson being your third guy is important for him to stay healthy because he's going to be counted on. Now, we'll get to a point where I get to Bobby Belch notes where that 4th safety competition is something we talked about in regards to our versus battle. But I don't think this is no one's surprised about the 3 safety look, right? J-Ron, Wilson, Malik Hooker are going to be your guys. And with Wilson being your number 2 dude, don't be surprised if he's playing a ton of snaps. I mean, he's going to because they're going to use J-Ron a lot. But here is a surprise to me. Granted, this is early. Maybe this is nothing. Looked like Leighton Vander Esch was taking the defensive calls from the coaches. This could be absolutely nothing. Maybe we don't really know about the green dot thing until we get to preseason. But are they taking the green dot from J-Ron? Something I want to ask Coach. I don't really know how to take this at this moment. Nobody else really brought this up. Todd brought it up, but it looks like Leighton, who is most likely your middle line, or we'll just say this. He's your linebacker oppo of Micah. I think Micah's your middle, but they're going to move Micah around. And again, traditionally, your middle linebacker wears the green dot. I do agree with them not putting it on Micah just yet. Still young in the position. Let him get some years under his belt or what have you. I'm torn on if they take it away from J-Ron, though. It worked so well last year. If it ain't broke, don't fix it type of situation. But big deal, little deal, or no deal at all that LVE is getting the defensive calls from the coaches, a.k.a. potentially the green dot guy. What's up, Jesse? So Professor O thinks this is no deal, just giving them that's true too, right? Like you need to have a contingency plan. Like who's going to be the guy, right? I think it was one practice where it might have been the Rams practice where they said, "Hey, Micah was getting green dot stuff and Jalen." So they both were doing the calls last year. And it's probably to have that contingency. So right now, I'm going to go no deal. Holla at me in preseason. Let me see here. Little deal. Antoine said LV got the yellow. Yo, you on a roll today, Twan. Day 1, little deal. Maybe it is a little deal, y'all. Curse knows it. Contingency, says Sean. That's true. Small deal, Gregory. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. How I feel too. Deep down, Todd Archer says, deeper down the O-line depth chart, Matt Forniak, and Braylon Jones split the second team center snaps. Now, in most cases, most fans don't give a damn about it. The second team snaps. I think this is interesting because I thought we heard that McGovern was doing some second team center reps in OTAs. But yesterday, first day, you got Fournier and Braylon Jones competing for that second spot. I love to hear that about Fournier. Fournier. Been saying it wrong. I love to hear that about Fournier because he's one of those guys I was excited about at the very end of the season and potentially competing for the center spot if need be. But then kind of that excitement of competing for it kind of dwindled because it sounded like and seemed like they were just going to roll with Biotish at center, which they are. But you still need the backup situation. And Fournier played some center, and he's going to play center. And I had an issue with the previous years of having guys who didn't play, especially last year, who didn't just play center backing up Biotish, which is why they tried to move Connor Williams. So I'm hoping that Fournier can lock down that backup spot. He's got a little flex to him, too. We had a call on the line, but they hung up. If you want to call in, 351-999-3787 is the call in line. Before I get to the final part of our day one notes, which is our guy Bobby Belt, we'll go through his notes here over on 105 through the fan. Shout out to him. Let's take a very small break, get some water, grab a bite to eat, actually do some work before you get in trouble at work, and talk about this week's ride of the week, which is the 2022 Hyundai Kona. The Kona competes with other ultra compact SUVs and crossovers with a base price comfortably in the $21,000 to $29,000 range. It offers far more style than is normally offered in the class, while also leading the way in technology with tons of safety and convenience options to offer. Make sure you guys hit up freemanhyundai.com if you want to know more about this week's ride of the week, which is, I always tell you, I look at that miles per gallon, pretty solid miles per gallon there. Also has a front LCD monitor, Apple and Android CarPlay, backup camera, all the cool things you need in a modern day vehicle for the modern day driver. And if you're in the Texas area, if you're in the Dallas area, DFW, visit Freeman Hyundai in Irving, Texas.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. We killing it today, Cowboys Nation. Appreciate y'all, Bomb Squad. First day of practice in the books, reviewing everything that's going on, going around the Twitter streets, hitting up some of the notes. Hopefully, if you're following me on Twitter, Ask Skywalker Still, you guys got me kind of put in a, what do you want to call it? Save category or whatever, because next week, I'm going to be out here tweeting. Be out here hopefully posting some things, kind of keeping you guys up to date. Excited for it, man. And that day I am credentialed down there. Will be a special day for A to Z Sports in general, because over in Tennessee, those boys credentialed. Those boys be at the pressers, at the games, at camp, and I just be over here like hating. I be hating. But I'll get a chance to experience some of that next week, so make sure y'all tune in. Once again, 351-999-3787 is the call-in line if y'all want to call in and talk a little bit more about today's training camp. Shout out to my guy, Mel Hayes. He says, is Cox practicing? Jabril Cox, yes. I meant to actually talk about that in the roundup. Jabril Cox, according to Coach McCarthy, he said that they're going to be take it easy with him. They're just going to be cautious with him, ease him in. They're not going to make him do a whole lot as things are rolling on. So probably a standard procedure in regards to ACL tears, right? You don't want to just rush him right on back. Same thing with Michael Gallup, although Gallup is much further behind in his recovery, but he's doing some agility things. He's on the cords. According to Coach, he's in the fourth quarter of his rehab. So I think good news on both of those dudes. Jabril Cox was not put on any NFI, wasn't put on PUP list. He was practicing, but they're just kind of taking it slow with Jabril Cox. So I'm hoping it ain't too slow. I hope he can play at least in that first practice against Denver in the first preseason game. Only 3 of them now, right? And you could argue he's got to play all 3 just to kind of get up to speed and get back. With ACLs, the recovery time is a little better than it was a long time ago. But at the end of the day, when you listen to people who still tear their ACLs in today's modern era, they always say it is going to take like a year before you, and when I say a year, I mean a full season before you feel back to yourself. So you may not get the full Jabril Cox that you want, but even if we can get 90% Jabril Cox, I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, let's hit up Bobby Belch's Twitter notes, man. And I want to go back to, y'all can see it right here, the safety position. I talked about it earlier when we brought up Kyle Yeomans, and was it Kyle Yeomans? No. It was Todd Archer's tweet. He talked about the 3 safeties. That 4th safety spot is up for grabs. I'm going to read this for those that may be listening on the podcast. Belch says safety Tyler Coyle stood out in the final practices of OTAs and minicamp and continued to look impressive during drills today. Coyle's elite athleticism jumps out during drills with the safety group, and he very well may earn the backup free safety role behind Malik Hooker. During one of the drills, he beat Hooker to the sideline, and Hooker said, "Damn, 4.4," a reference to Coyle's 4.41 time speed. If you guys can remember when we went back and did the kind of the versus battle, camp battles, and we talked about the safeties, I put Coyle up there and we talked about Coyle versus Bell and things like that. And the number one thing I said about Coyle is he's a traits guy. He's the athlete. He's the traits guy that Dan Quinn looks at and says, I could do something with that. Just got to figure out how. And it sounds like he's carrying over that momentum from the OTAs to training camp. And that 4th spot is a battle royale. It's a battle royale. Nobody has that locked down. We love Marquise Bell, right? As that HBCU undrafted free agent. Tyler Coyle was also an undrafted free agent. We say Bell was super athletic. Tyler Coyle was super athletic. Former linebacker, so he's going to hit hard. Marquise Bell hits hard. Remember what I said? I said, once these pads come on, expect to see Coyle, Story, Bell, these type of guys just popping pads with these dudes. Especially this guy. Kamikaze style type of player. Can get him in trouble or whatever. But here's what I found interesting in this whole thing. Backup free safety role behind Malik Hooker. I didn't have that on the cards. I didn't have Tyler Coyle being a potential backup free safety. The thing about this room, there aren't too many true free safeties. I mean, Israel McQuamble might be your only guy that'll be like a cover safety. The rest of these dudes are more boxy, more hitters, more strong-ish free safeties than they are free behind Malik Hooker. Found that interesting. Backup free safety, which y'all talking about in the chat. I believe it was I want to say Connecticut. Help me out here. Was it Connecticut with Coyle? Yes, UConn. Thank you. James Elvey. Roger said, Dr. Skywalker. Man, I wish. No, sir. Just reporting to you guys what we hear from our coaches. That footsteps guy. We don't want to put a tight grip on Jabril. Oh, gosh. I ran right into that, King Element. I ran right into that. Let's get to Danny, Macho Man, Randy Savage. What's up, Danny?
Good morning, Sky. Good morning.
Good morning.
Did you
have your coffee?
Actually, I had none yet. I'm going to go to the gym later, so I have 0 caffeine, which is good.
Okay.
You talked about, let's say Malik goes down. What do you think of? I'm just trying to put the best players on the field.
Sure.
If Malik goes down, AB filling in for Malik, and then Kelvin kept playing for AB. What do you think of that? Because I'm sorry, I view Mukwamu as just a special teamer. I think if he's on the field as a free safety, we're in trouble. That was just a situation I gave you. That's it.
My contingency would be to put Donovan Wilson over there.
Okay.
How you feel about that? I mean, he's not pure free, but he's done a lot of free stuff in his short career. My problem is though,
I like
now that I'm looking at, now we're talking, right? We just talking. Now I'm looking at this safety group in that case, right? If they move Donald to free, J-Ron is still going to play big nickel. J-Ron's not going to just play your safety when it's time for big nickel. So who then replaces Dono?
No.
Coyle, Bell, right. It's not like last year. And again, I probably wouldn't even care too much about the fourth safety if I didn't see and have proof that that Dan Quinn will utilize all four of these guys if need be. Because in the standard league, Danny, you usually have two safeties, right? And you run with them for most of the time. But nowadays, that's not the case.
Now it's different. But what I love about having Wilson on the field, and I've been a fan of Wilson since day one, he's like another linebacker to me when he's on the field, playing against the run. The kid, I think we can agree, he plays much, much larger than he is.
Who's that, AB?
Donovan Wilson.
Yeah, Donovan, about 6 foot, roughly sub 210, I think. He does play like a comic. He plays
about 6'3", 250.
Yeah, he think he Cam Chancellor sometimes. Yeah.
Getting back real quick to Farnack, I was watching another show. They were saying like this past off season, like they were half to throwing Farnack, Ball, McGovern, all these guys. They were just like in-house lifting and eating and showering or watching plays, and these guys were they were there 5-6 days a week, and like showing dedication and putting in the work. So maybe Farnack might surprise a lot of people. He's bigger than Tyler. He's 6'5", 330. He's the biggest out of all the center prospects we have. He is the largest. And at Nebraska, he played all 5 positions. He played left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle. So they might want that extra flexibility in there.
Yeah, that always helps, man.
Kid? Who is the second kid you mentioned? Braylon Jones.
Braylon Jones. Now, he was on the team last year as a practice squad guy. They kept him around.
Real, yeah, and I have to do some homework on him. I never even heard of him, so I'll do that. But Farnack, like I said, he was in the facilities they would have to throw them out. They'd be like, yo, guys, we're closing for the night. Get out. So that's going to rub the coaches right. When you got a group of kids that they're telling them, yo, you got to, we're closing, get out, come back tomorrow. But then you got to throw in Kyle Murphy's contract. You got to watch mandatory 4 hours of film a day.
Kyle Murphy.
And then I read poor Jerry's catching flack for using a derogatory term.
Yeah, I don't care about that stuff.
I think he was calling Kyle Murray a midget. He's about 4'11".
Come on.
What I'm saying? Come on, that's just my joke for the day. But what you said too, also.
Yeah.
Next week when the pads come on, we have such a young team. You're gonna see people getting lit up.
Yeah, you got a young team, and a lot to prove for a lot of these guys.
A lot of jobs open. Yeah. A lot of jobs open. A young team. You're gonna see some people get lit up. You're gonna be out Oxnard next week or no?
Yes, sir. Leaving Thursday. Got to make a quick pit stop, and then I'll be flying out. We'll be there Friday, hopefully, for practice. We're going to be arriving in L.A. very early, so we might just go straight from there, hotel, then straight to practice. So
sounds like a plan. I'm looking forward to it. Awesome. You guys are doing great. Are you gonna be on later 306 Mafia
Yep.
Botch or no?
Yep. We'll be on talking more about today's practice, man, or yesterday's practice.
Everybody in the chat, hit the like buttons. You know what I'm trying to say, and then be on later on.
Good call, Denny. Good call.
You got it. Talk to you later. Bye.
Damn, we didn't get a good call from Danny. Dang it. See what y'all done did to my man. Real quick, he brought up potentially bringing AB back there. We went the whole entire show and didn't talk about the play of the day or the player of the day, whatever you want to call it, Anthony Brown. Trey. Anthony Brown had the pick 6, man. He said he was looking good over there, you know. He said he was, you know, I'm just saying. I didn't think Anthony Brown was going to be the type of guy that was going to lay down. What Law say? Get down, Brown. He ain't lay down, Brown. Get down, Brown. Got a really nice pick 6 from the video. We saw the video footage. I'll pull it back up again here in a second. But yeah, man, Anthony Brown, yeah, just saying, he ain't gonna lay it down. And I like that. I like that he's gonna make these young bucks earn it. Make them earn it. I got to get used to these number 2, number 3 though. It's confusing. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm just saying, Trey. Yeah, 3 picks last year and a pick 6. But let's move on to the offensive line and get to Bobby Belch's offense and defense. Defensive line, get to Bobby Belch's notes. We're gonna talk Micah here, Terrence here, Tristan, and well, let's go and ball. So y'all stay tuned for this. All right, Micah Parsons got the better of Terrence Steele and Tyron Smith on a few reps today. Everybody relax. It's Micah Parsons. But while Parsons had his expected victories during practice on Wednesday, Steele had a very good series against Parsons during 2-minute drills. Steele won the majority of the reps on the drive, displaying quick footwork to keep Parsons from winning to the outside. Got to keep an eye on, Terrence. You still got to keep an eye on him. I'm high on Terrence Steele or what have you, but obviously now he's your guy. He's going to get those number 1 reps against guys like Micah Parsons, so you got to keep an eye on him. Let's continue. While Steele had some nice reps against Parsons, he ended up on the ground, again, weird because no pads, against Tristan. But this part is true about Terrence. Terrence is a good athlete who at times has struggled with power, which explains why he has to be able to keep it in front of Parsons' quickness, why he was able to keep in front of Parsons' quickness, but struggled a few snaps later against Hill's power. This is the part where, from Steele's standpoint, it's hard to gauge because he can't really do a bunch of power things. All he can do is more athletic, feet quickness type of things and speed things because he doesn't have pads on. But if we want to flip it on the other side, Tristan Hill getting the best of your RT1, it's not a bad thing. I'd imagine they did a stunt or something like that. So, Coach Marv, let's put a victory in the Tristan Hill column. Hopefully he can carry that over with the pads on. Now let's move down a little bit more because this might be the most interesting thing to come out of camp yesterday. In competition at swing tackle, excuse me, it was Josh Ball who had a better day overall than rookie Matt Waletzko. Waletzko seemed to have some issues with his hand usage at times. He also had his right knee lightly wrapped. Don't like that. And appeared to favor it at times. Don't like that. Wednesday was one of the better practices we've seen from Ball in 2022. Ball, have a day. I haven't heard of a positive reinforcement from Ball until today. You love to hear that. I don't love to hear Waletzko's knee is wrapped. I don't love to hear Waletzko is favoring his knee early on in camp. It's early. It's day 1. I didn't want to see Waletzko in there anyway if something were to happen. But Ball is you should be encouraged at the very least that he beat Waletzko. It's not Waletzko versus Ball physically, more than it is Ball versus the rest of the guys physically. So if we get some more footage, when I get there, definitely going to be keeping my eye on Waletzko and Ball. Is Waletzko still favoring the knee? Is Josh Ball having some success against Sam Williams, against Dante Fowler, Dorrance Armstrong? Guys will probably go up against, let's just be real, Micah Parsons and Micah Parsons. DeMarcus Lawrence, they're going to beat Ball. But is he having success against those other guys? Can he carry over, much like Tristan Hill? Can he carry over day one's practice and stack another good day on top? Because we're going to need him to. We're going to need him to show something, because we cannot wait around too long, or they're going to have to go get a swing tackle, a veteran swing tackle. But good day for Josh Ball. Good few reps against Terrence Steele for Tristan Hill. I thought that we should definitely have pointed them out in Malik, in Bobby Belch's notes. And then at the end, it says, don't forget about Rico Dowdle. Tom. Injuries have limited him in the first 2 seasons with the Cowboys, but Dallas likes what he brings to the table as a back and a returner. He got his fair share of first-team reps today as the Cowboys featured a heavy rotation in the backfield for much of practice, dare I say, committee. I'm all for it. Ain't gonna happen, but I'm all for it. So that will wrap up the notes from yesterday. I think we pretty much touched on a ton. Now, there's so much that goes on in camp, it's impossible to really talk about everything. I saw somebody bring up James Washington. James Washington, the highlight. Oh, we're gonna play the highlights real quick. Let me see here. The highlights showed on one of the plays where Dak threw a ball deep to James, and it just quite. I don't think it was a bad throw. I thought James just didn't track it as well, but just quite didn't get there for James Washington. And then we saw him over there talking to the trainers. I don't know if it was a leg situation. I don't know if it was a body situation. I don't know if it was a head situation, but you don't like to hear him talking to trainers week 1. Something to monitor. Everything is something to monitor, but something to monitor moving forward, because, again, you get to next week when the pads come on and James is still – one of the things Coach said was we got to get James healthy. We just got to get James healthy. Yeah, he's done some good things for us and things like that. I don't want to be talking about August 15th. We got to get James healthy. We don't want that. You know what? I'm wrong. I didn't even bring up who was the best wide receiver here yesterday, according to our guy. One more note. Jalen Tolbert had a nice day of practice and stood out among Dallas wide receivers. Tolbert high-pointed the ball and made a nice contested catch, which was on the highlights, on the right sideline on 1 rep, and put Anthony Brown on skates while running a comeback during a 2-minute drill. Before y'all get on Anthony Brown, while Tolbert got in a few good reps, Anthony Brown, it was Brown with the play of the day when he jumped Tolbert's stop route and picked off Dak Prescott. Just saying before y'all try to get on him. Let me get into the chat. Yeah, King Element, not for putting hands on the women. Line changes like hockey is the future of the NFL. Teams had great success with that. Sean, you believe in what the Cowboys tried to do last year in the Raiders game, where it was a line change. They had Connor Williams and I think it was Lyle Collins come in for Steele and McGovern. I don't know about that, Sean. Conventional wisdom, be it conventional, you don't mess with chemistry up front. If there's one position you need to have chemistry at, it is the line, unless you're talking about the defensive line change. So if you're talking about defense, yeah, you're going to get rotation. That's what Dan Quinn is doing. If you're talking about offense, I don't really see that. Chris Romero said, did Turpin actually sign, though? All the reporters that I trust came out and said it. So apparently he did. The details of the contract have not come out yet, though. So he did sign. Ted, he finished practice, no issue. I think they're just making sure that one tendonitis from spring is acting up. I saw Wright had a nice breakup in the end zone. Were you down there? For those who are down there, by the way, anybody that's down at camp, man, let me know. Let me know how it's going for y'all. I know a lot of fans on Twitter are tagging all the content creators and things. That is such a big help. We appreciate that for those that aren't of us that aren't down there just yet. Y'all the best. Let's see here. Lemaitre said, "I ain't feeling Washington." Man, I don't like that, Lemaitre. I don't like the whole he may be banged up thing. But it's day one, right? Like we talked about it earlier. I'm gonna overreact to the Rico thing because I'm having fun with it. But end of the day, we can't overreact too much to anything on day one. What I do, Trey? Let me know what I said, man. All you gotta do is beat Steele. To beat Steele is bull rush. Don't take him wide. Just hit him in the chest. That's what scares me the most about, in my opinion. We are in trouble at right tackle, even with the backup, says Beckley. I agree with the first part. You know, he's not a perfect player. The bull rush tends to get him from time to time. I disagree with we're in trouble at right tackle. Beckley, did you not watch Terrence Steele at right tackle last year? Let me see if I can help you out here. Give you a little bit of confidence, man. Or woman. Sorry, I'm not sure who you are. Hey, man, do I got Terrence Steele up in here still? I got him loaded up here. Give me a second. Let me see if I can get him. I think he was working against the Minnesota Vikings cat. See if I can help you out here. I know the one play a lot of people like to point out is the bull rush against the Raiders against Crosby. Yeah, this is the game against. Maybe it's not the game against. Okay, never mind. This is the game against the Eagles. I thought I had the Minnesota game in here. But let me tell you this about Terrence Steele, and John Owning pointed this out fantastically. From a run game department, he's fantastic on the move, as we're seeing right here. Where he needs to get better at is at the point of attack when they're running right behind Terrence Steele, like right up on him. So that's one thing in the run game department he can get better at. And from a pass game department, I do agree that a strong guy to get his hands on Terrence Steele, the bull rush can push him back some before he re-anchors. So definitely not a finished product from Terrence Steele, but tons of positive things from last year's right tackle tape. He took on some bull rushes from a Pro Bowler here with a career like 100 sacks, I think, already, damn it. But there's some positive things, Beckley. Don't be too concerned about your starter. I am concerned behind him, though. I am concerned behind him. He did some good things against Judon as well, Mark Anthony. I mean, listen, his right tackle tape is just good tape. I mean, flat out. Now, you want to go to the left side. That's a different story, especially those first two games. It took him a while to kind of settle in over there. But the hope is that he doesn't have to go over there. He can just remain at right tackle and continue to do his thing. So, still trip over Martin's feet and Crosby took advantage of it. Oh, you're talking about the bull rush. I mean, but that was a hell of a bull rush, though. I'll tell you that much. That was a hell of a bull rush. I'm going to take care of them bots. Appreciate you. Derek agrees he doesn't like Steele. Let me get a, you know what? Before we get out of here, let me get the temperature on that. We talk here with the family. Y'all have been here. We got a lot of viewers here. We're over 500 plus after the first day. I don't know how many viewers really feel about Steele going into this year. I know how certain people, Danny, now Derek and Beckley, but how are we feeling about Steele? At right tackle. That's just a simple question here to ask the community as I'm reading through the chat here. We'll give y'all a few more minutes. We in overtime. I told y'all I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so I'm going to give y'all a little bit of OT. Let me see how y'all feel. I think the question is, do you feel good about Steele at right tackle? You can answer it through the chat, or you can just go ahead and click the button. Yo, these bots, I thought we could get rid of them when we did the 20-minute thing. I will say this. It's worked to an extent. You know why? Because we used to get them real bad. There was a point in time, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It was real bad. But now we're getting it maybe once or twice every other show or something like that. But as long as y'all taking care of it, we good to go. Ain't really no way to get rid of them completely. We acting like we don't see the reps versus Joey Bosa. Is that a good thing or bad thing, Joe? That's the thing about Terrence. I think we got to be more direct because I don't. Some people are on opposite ends of the spectrum with them, and some people are on opposite ends of the spectrum in that game. He definitely was helped out, but he definitely had some good reps against Joey too. So, how we feeling? So far, let's see how many. 67 votes. It is a resounding yes so far, but we're gonna go ahead and let this thing move up. We'll give about 5 minutes. Joey says he's a bust. Can I ask you a question? How can an undrafted free agent be a bust? Unless you mean like he's going to bust out this year. He's just going to be 2020 Terrence Steele. He's going to revert to being a bad player. Toby says Steele was a solid right tackle, very similar to Doug Free, which isn't a bad thing. I'm telling you right now. If Terrence Steele becomes a Doug Free, you got a massive win. Doug Free as your number one guy back in 2012 or whatever it was. Doug Free as your fifth best guy, totally different story. And if Terrence Steele could be your fourth best guy, come on, man. Look around the league. You take that all day. Now, that is to be decided. We don't know that just yet. I have a projection on Terrence. I think Terrence will solidify himself as a right tackle, as a solid right tackle, but that could go up, that could go down. I'm more confident that his trajectory is going up as opposed to down, based off what I saw. Sir said after the way he played last year, I feel much better. Lennox, what's up, Matt? He said absolutely growth since day one. Applaud his effort to improve. Facts. Mr. Woods, I'm not worried about Steele. I'm worried about swing. I agree. Danny, we know how you feel about Terrence. You said he's going to get popped for PEDs. Mark says he's more concerned with Biotish than Terrence. Well, this is throw something out of left field real quick. Alan Rogers says Sam Williams as middle linebacker. Yeah, Ultra. Was that you who said this? He says, I think he says, oh, I got to read this one. Steele needs to improve and show that last year wasn't a fluke. 100%. This is the best Steele comment of the day. Michelle, my lady, said, I feel good about Steele. And I ain't talking about Terrence. Damn it, that was good. That was good. We had 91% yes. Y'all feel good. 9% no. So most of y'all feel good about Terrence Steele. Trace says, Sky said Cox and Ball, Jabril Cox, Josh Ball, and the bots was like, let's go. You know, the bots was acting crazy a couple shows ago on Vasher Lombardi Live, which make sure y'all tune in later. Cause y'all asses was drawing, and I'm really using my. Let me pull that back. That is East Coast slang. Y'all were tripping in there, and y'all was saying names y'all ain't had no business saying, and it attracted the bots. YouTube know what they doing. You know, these weird people that do these bot things, they know what they doing. They plugged in, so you gotta revert from saying certain things. That's all. Yeah, a little blush here and there, a little blush here and there. All right, look, we're gonna get going, man. This was a good show. I do kind of want to talk to y'all a little bit longer. Y'all been great in this chat. And y'all ain't gonna see me until Monday. Yeah, you'll see me later on the volume. But I mean here on Skywalker Show, A to Z Sports Live. You won't see me until Monday. And even next week is going to be such a hectic week for me. And then I'll touch down later in the week over on the West Coast. So, you know, I'm still rock next week. Y'all keep it locked. You know what I mean? Hit this button. Hit the like button. We'll keep things going. Later tonight, Mo will be back on doing prime time, giving you updates on day 2 of practice and whatnot. So make sure y'all stay plugged in with that. I believe practice is about the same time today, 1:30 Central. So check your Twitters. They're going to be flooding with updates on Twitter. Ton more video footage and notes and whatnot, and we'll keep it plugged and keep it locked, and I'll get back to y'all on Monday with that. So, keep rocking with your boy, man. We grinding out here. I'll tell you that right now. I don't take this grind lightly. I hope y'all appreciate it because I love y'all, and I'm going to keep grinding for y'all. With that said, hit this button. Later today, make sure y'all come over on the volume, Vasher Lombardi Live, 306-ish, 3-ish Mafia. We'll be talking more of the training camp, more offensive line, more everything. Maybe we'll have some actual details on how we're going to rock when we get down to training camp, but y'all know do the damn thing. Just come through. We out of here. Love y'all. Peace!
Bomb Squad!